What's up, fellow engineers? Dr. McKay here, and welcome back to my channel. As we're back with another Space Engineers video. Today we are going to be basically test flying the space shuttle. And as you can see, I've built the fuel tank, or the external fuel tank, and the two solid rocket boosters for the shuttle. Now, since the last video, I've tweaked the shuttle, put some more engines on, so we have more RCS control. Obviously, I've done an external fuel tank and equipped some solid rocket boosters. Now, it all does detach, and well, I built it. Is that a bolt of lightning? Anyway, I've set it so all the merge blocks should detach and it should work. I have done some very large grid engines for the solid rocket boosters because I believe they're the only engines that would give enough thrust to lift this behemoth build off the ground. Now, I haven't test flown it yet, so I don't know if it will fly, so we're going to be doing this together. So I'm hoping it will. This is the first time I'm actually flying it from building it, and yeah, that was like a storm coming. That's pretty cool. I do like the weather. Anyway, now the only thing on this build I don't like, but I have to do, is on the solid rocket boosters I've had to equip a merge block on it like this, and well, in real life I believe the solid rocket boosters are bolted. Let me just turn off the weather a second before that storm comes in and does some stuff. Alright, so as I was saying, in real life the solid rocket boosters, I believe, now if I'm wrong someone could just message in the comments to clarify this, but I believe that the solid rocket boosters are bolted to the launch pad. And then just before launch, obviously the main engines on the shuttle start up, and then as the solid rocket boosters fire up, explosive bolts then activate on the solid rocket boosters, like a bit that's attached to the launch pad, and then it will take off. So I believe that's how it works. So I've kind of replicated it on the space shuttle. So you don't have like a launch tower where it's attached to it. It's kind of like freestanding on the pad. That is, and the solid rocket boosters are the thing that is what's holding it up. Now, I believe that's the case because I've seen some video footage of shuttles taking off, and I've done some research, and I believe that's what I found on one of the blueprints I was looking at. That's like the fixing point. So yes, I've tried to replicate it here with merge blocks, but unfortunately the large grid merge blocks are a giant square, so they're just gonna have to come with me in space, unfortunately. But yeah, like I said, I've done some large grid engines with small grid, obviously, shell. I love how I've done it. Now the whole thing does sway because I've had to fix it to the pad using a bunch of pistons to get the right shape, because like I said, as you can see here, they're not exactly square, and the way I've fixed them to the fix them through is on a piston. So there's like a piston on this block in there, so obviously I've extended the piston to attach the merge block because it's like a separate grid, and then as obviously I built it, I've then brought it closer together. So that is how I've built it, and the same can literally be said about the fuel tank as well. Obviously I've merged blocks there, and inside it's just thing, and there's obviously a connector down here that speaking of that, I need to go into the menu and sort that out. But yeah, there's a connector there that is for fuel tank. So hopefully, I'm pretty sure it does fuel. Now, I've shown you around the shuttle in the previous video, and nothing's changed much apart from obviously I've put a few more engines in places, like I put 3 here instead of the 1. On the orbital maneuvering modules, I put some on the top, 4 on the rear, well, the front, to give reverse thrust, and underneath at the back I got some more lift, but these bunch here aren't for landing, they are for in space maneuvering. So apart from that, and just making sure everything works, that's basically it. So obviously from the shuttle since the last video. So yeah, just while it's in my brain, I'm just going to sort that connector out, because I actually don't think I've done it to disconnect when I do the merge blocks. So let me just go in here. So we got the connector. Where's the connector? Pardon me. The shuttle external fuel connector. So I need to have that as a release as well. So right, okay, right. So in the first one, I got solid rocket boosters. No, main engines for the shuttle because they start first. Then rocket boosters. Right. So then I need to do the bottom one as pad release. Yep. And then left would be the SRBs. External fuel SRB merge. I believe that is the one. So that should be set up there. And then the next page I have set it for the orbiter. So I need to change that. I need to do need to find the connector. Where connect the shuttle on it. Find it. Where's it? There it is. So shuttle external fuel connector I want to unlock, and then I want to detach the external fuel tank, which is that one. And that will obviously shut down the main engine, so I need to have the main engine shut down as well. But where do you find them? Landing gear, last landing. Shuttle main engines to toggle off because I have set them with a thrust override, because that's technically how it is. It's full throttle, power down a little bit through maximum dynamic pressure, which is the time place where it's the most stress on the vehicle. And then once they throttle down, they pass through that, they then throttle back up. So that's what it's called max Q, if you're not familiar with rocket terms. And so we've got main engines on, rocket boost, solid rocket boosters, and as it goes up, we have solid rocket boosters turn off and then detach, and then we have fuel tank turn off, detach, engines off, and then I might as well put the RCS here. So we want the RCS, shuttle RCS. So that's the shuttle RCS, and on the second page I have set it for landing, but we can just change it to how I wanted it, which was just purely in space. So we have find it. So shuttle RCS on and off. We'll have payload bay. No, payload bay. That is all you want in space. And then when you come down to land, we want to basically be able to turn on our landing thrusters, just in case we need extra maneuverability. I will put the RCS on. Now obviously real shuttle doesn't have this, but Space Engineers doesn't have the air resistance to be able to glide. And then we want landing gear, which is reverse. And then we want our parachute to stop if all goes well when we land. I did yesterday do a few more landing attempts, like behind the scenes, and I did get it actually working quite well. I've got the wheels to work, but I still quite haven't figured out how to get it to move. Like when it's on wheels, I don't understand if it's got enough power or it's too heavy. But I can bring it down, land it, shuttle, parachutes, and whatnot. So now I've done the quick actions. I'm just gonna blueprint it. So obviously once because every time when I launch this, we're gonna be blueprinting in another one to be able to finish off testing. Now I'm thinking about doing another auto launch. So obviously each stage of the launch will take place with timer blocks. So all you have to do is press one button. So if you want me to do that again, like I did with the Saturn V, please let me know in the comments, and I'll obviously work on timing the ascent and stage separations for each stuff. Now I'm gonna probably go like I did with the Saturn V. I'm gonna do the solid rocket boosters up to about 20k, and then detach the solid rocket boosters, and then go with the fuel tank and the 3 main engines on the shuttle to 30k or 35, and then maybe detach the fuel tank because I want the fuel tank to go back down to the planet, not stay in space. And then if I need to have more thrust, I'll activate the RCS to then get me to 42,000 meters. So now I've blueprinted it. I think we are about ready for launch. So yeah, we're going to go inside, we're going to shut the door, and we're going to cross our fingers and hope this works, because I haven't tested it yet. Yeah, I like to test it with all you guys, so you can see me fail or succeed. Yeah, and it's also good for when you fly as well, so you kind of know what to do. So now we're in, we're going to basically... Yeah, those engines on the solid rocket boosters are a bit meant, isn't they? But unfortunately there's no third size. It'd be nice to have like small, medium and large, not just small and large. So I'm not sure how I'm gonna do the camera angle. I could do it like that, I suppose. So fingers crossed, here we go. So main engines on in 3, 2, 1 now. And now they're on, we're gonna turn on the main engines and release. So we're off. We're moving to the side. I'm moving to the side foot. Manually correct that. Could be clanging. Oh, it is banging. Still moving to the side. Oh, I suppose you guys can do that too. Some clanging. I have to address why that's doing that. It's pulling to the right. Now I'm not too sure why it's doing that. Just have to keep correcting it. So if this ends up not working with like flying manually, not flying manually, flying automatically, we may gonna have to do a manual flight instead of automatic if we have to steer it as we're going up. So we're not exactly going straight up, are we? There's a lot. Right, something's going boom. I'm not sure where it is. It could be in the solid rocket boosters, or it could be inside the shuttle. So this is what we test, but I am merging small grid, large grid. Oh, this is tough. I don't know what's clanging. Something's clanging. See, it would be nice if I had, say, another player inside watching stuff. See, I'm turning again. I'm listing over. I have no idea what's making that noise or why it's making that noise. Just gotta basically keep it straight, flying up. We're not even at 10,000 meters yet. Get out there. I'll tell you something though, these solid rocket boosters do have the power. As long as I keep heading straight up, we shouldn't have a problem. Like I said, I'm not sure what's clanging, and I gotta stay on the controls. It's not like the Saturn V where it goes straight up without nothing touching it. I have no idea why it's pulling to the right. Maybe you guys can let me know in the comments. Yeah, but he's all over the place. Nothing. We ain't got no side thrusters on. Maybe that's why I need some RCS. Yeah, if that's the case, I may have to, in the solid rocket boosters, put some small hydrogen thrusters in just to give it that RCS maneuverability. Otherwise, we're going to be all over the place, aren't we? So what I might do is next test off screen, I'll do some of those small hydrogen thrusters and see if that corrects the shimmy. If it does, then the automated launch sequence may work. But there is quite a little bit of knocking around inside. I don't know what that is. Now, I think I dropped the block inside the external fuel tank. I don't know if that could be causing the clangish. I have to investigate, yeah. But so far it's working. It's just getting to save separation. Now we're coming up on booster separation. So when we get to booster separation, we'll get more of an idea and see if obviously the shuttle main engines work like as advertised. So 20,000 meters is where I want to do it. And let's see if the shuttle main engines will have enough thrust to keep us going at 20G. So, off, separate, separate. Well, it's still going up, so that's good. And I'm not getting clanging anymore. It could have been the solid rocket boosters that were clanging, because that is a... Well, it is large grid on small grid, so... Wait, where's he going? See that? See that? What the hell's going on there? Yeah, I think they're definitely clanging. Well, yeah, well the shuttles are doing really well at the minute. It's going up. So when we get to about 30,000, maybe 33, I will then shut off the shuttle's main engines and disconnect the external fuel tank, and then activate the orbital maneuvering thruster pods along with the rest of the RCS, and then we should maybe have to thrust up then to keep going, but we'll see what it's like, because about 35,000 you can kind of drift to 42,000. Yeah. Yeah, those solid rocket boosters are crazy. I think they are clanging, but there's just not enough thrust in the small large, and there's not enough thrust in the small grid for a build this big. So I have to compromise. Yeah, I wish there was an easier way to merge large and small grid together. Maybe a merge block that is but able to do large grid, small grid. If you get what I mean. So you can have a large grid merge block, right, with a small merge block head on it, and then you can attach a small merge block to that, like you can like a rotor. Yeah, that'd be pretty handy to have on some builds. I'll tell you something, it'd be handy for me. So, because I'm always mixing around. So where are we at? So we're on the next page. So we want all of that in general order. So we're coming up on 32. We're still well in with fuel. So what I'll do is get to about 35 just before I'll disconnect the connector, then do the merge block and engine at the same time. So do it now. There goes the fuel tank. Now I've got to thrust up, and at this speed those engines are strong enough. Look at that go. Where's the fuel tank gone? There she goes. We are decelerating rather quickly. Oh, it's because I got dampeners on. It would help. So throttle back up, and then make sure to turn dampeners off at this stage. And what we do, we'll just cruise now to save some fuel, because we need fuel for re-entry. Now I'm not sure whether or not I'm going to show re-entry in this video, because I did it in the last video, and because it takes like 10 minutes ish to land, it's like, do I extend this video longer than 20 minutes? Yeah, because it's going to be, even if I was to cut it to the last bit, you still ended up with like 30 minutes. So I want to try and narrow the videos down to 20. So I think what I'll do, I'll skip the landing stage of this rocket, because we've already tested that we can land it. So yeah, I think that's a certainty, especially with the improved RCS on it. So we're just cruising now to 42. We're almost there, and we're at half a meter a second. So once we get there, I'll turn dampeners on and come to a stop. But yeah, I think the launch was a success. Nothing blew up, and yeah, nothing blew up. I may need to add some small hydrogen thrusters on the solid rocket boosters just to stop it from shimmying. And that clanging, it could be because I've mixed large grid with small grid, or it could be a random block that's floating around in the fuel tank, the external fuel tank. Because when I was building it, I had to take it down a few times. And with symmetry mode, sometimes you take out a block and then 4 of them just fall down, and then I just didn't get them out. So it could be that banging around. I'll have to investigate. But yeah, there you go, guys. We are currently now in space, 0G with the shuttle. And let's test out, just make sure the RCS works. So forward, backwards works. Still got plenty of maneuverability with gyros. Let's have a look at sideways. So sideways works. How about up? Up works, and that works. It's all about the same. It cancels each other out. So that's good. As long as you're basically the time it takes to cancel out. So if it takes 4 seconds to go to 10 meters a second, it should take 4 seconds to go back down to 0. If that's the kind of ratio you want it to be. So yeah, so we'll test quickly. Make sure that works. Yeah, nice. That works beautifully. So there you have it then, folks. That is my shuttle build so far. I hope you've enjoyed the video and watching me test it. It's really fun building these builds and then test them out to get them to work right. So if you liked the video, please hit the like button and don't forget to comment your thoughts of my build, and don't forget to subscribe if you already haven't. And let me know, definitely let me know if you would like me to try and make it an automated flight like the Saturn V, because I will enjoy trying to get that to work. I've been Dr. McKay, and thank you for watching me test fly the shuttle. Until the next time, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Cheers.